everybody, so now we're just going to get stuck into these seacocks. So basically what we've got is got a gate valve that runs into a sea strainer assembly. So this one here services the port engine for the raw seawater intake. This one over there services the starboard engine and the raw water intake. And this one here with the red cap, I'll turn the camera around a second, that services the firewater emergency bilge system. So that one's going to be decommissioned, but I've soaked all these bolts for 2 days in WD-40, and I just reckon we're going to have a hard time with a couple, but I'm really hoping we don't, and I think we'll just see how we go and hope for the best. So yeah, I'll flip the camera around and show you what we're dealing with. Alright everybody, so like I was saying, the 3 gate valve sea strainer assemblies obviously bolted through to the bottom of the hull with the original gate valves. Now these gate valves, I'm told, obviously they're no longer manufactured, and it's going to be very difficult to get past. I think they're quite simple in their design and their operation, that they just have stern gland packing through here, so if you would unscrew this you might be able to service them. But what we're going to do, we're going to take the whole assemblies out and we're going to take them down to the shipwright, and he's going to see what we can do, whether we can service the original gate valves, or if we have to replace them, we might have to make some new flanges to go here with a new ball valve assembly or whatnot. We're not sure yet, but we'll see how we go. So first job is to disconnect all the supporting plumbing, so basically disconnect the raw water pipes to the port and starboard motors. Also disconnect this valve to the back, which goes to the fire pump, and then we're going to unbolt them from the bottom of the hull. Now these ones are the biggest worry. I've cracked them all, they do turn, but when I turned one, it already snapped, and I put absolutely no pressure on that. That just basically just popped with the slightest turn of the spanner. So not good. We're going to have to remove that stud and just work out how the hell we deal with that, but that'll be a problem for next time. Let's get them off anyway, because they've got to come off regardless, and go from there. The reason they've got to come off is because they are leaking. So if you see over here, someone's just put a little seawater container just to catch the dripping gate valve here. This one here would, you can shut the gate valve off, but it would leak more. This one here, you could shut this one off, this is fine, but this one here is completely seized. So I don't know if that's full off or full closed, but either way we're not going to take the risk. One of the most important things in a boat, any boat, doesn't matter if you've got any below the waterline fittings, that you have serviceable seacocks. If you have an issue, a leak in the plumbing system, and you cannot shut these off, your boat will sink if your bilge pumps cannot keep up. So not a risk I want to take, especially considering this boat's going to be moored in the river. We'll see how we go. So guys, we'll get to work. We'll start taking off the supporting plumbing first, and then rip through the rest and see what we're dealing with. One of the first things I'm going to do is actually just unbolt these sea strainer assemblies, just so we can take the sea strainers out. It'll be a little bit easier while they're bolted to the ground and to see what we're dealing with inside there. So I think we'll get to work on that first, and we'll see what happens. Alright, the sea strainers are actually all in really good condition. This particular one did have a quite, I wouldn't say a bad warp, but it had a warp in the cylinder, probably from where someone's tried to really fit it. It hasn't seated properly, and when they've clamped down the end cap, it's just basically pressed it into place and given it a slight warp. But this one I kept as a spare. I think it's still quite functional, good to have a backup. The other two were in perfect condition. They were sort of copper brass brazed together sort of style of construction. But yeah, all really clean, no issues with corrosion. And I think the sea strainer assemblies will actually work quite well because I can service them or change them when I'm at sea. The end caps are well above the waterline, so it's quite overall quite a good unit, and I think it suits the boat quite well. We've just got to sort out the ball valves, the gate valves, and yeah, basically sort them out, and these will be quite serviceable, ready to go once they've had a bit of a clean. Alright guys, a bit of a struggle, but we finally got there. So I got all 3 gate valve and Seacox strainer assemblies off. The starboard side was all sweet. The 4 nuts came off without too much drama, and that was all good. But on the port side, these 2 bolts were snapped, so we're going to have to figure out what to do here, which is no good, but anyway, that's alright. So I'm thinking what we'll get some heat on it. We'll probably grind 2 edges flush there, and then get a spanner on it and see if we can extract the stud. I've just got to find a way to make sure that they're not welded in, but fingers crossed they should be alright. We should be able to extract those and get the stud put in. So that's good. But so what's probably going to happen is we're probably going to retain the 2 rear ones and just use each for the port, so for the port and engine, a starboard engine seawater cocks, and this one here will probably blank off because we won't need the fire pump assembly anymore. So that's good. Job done. Quite a mission, but all good. On to the next job. Alright, so today is going to be the day to see whether or not I've got a massive headache on my hands, or we actually have some luck. So these are the ports where the original gate valve sea strainer assemblies were. The starboard one came out pretty well, no dramas there, but the port side, we snapped one of the bronze studs on each of the 2 on the 2 flange bases. So I've had, they're pretty well proper seized. I've had them soaking WD-40 probably for what is the better part of a week now. Been coming down here, hitting them with MAP gas once a day. I just really wanted to let these things soak before I have any attempt, because obviously bronze is a very soft metal, stuck in with steel. There's a good chance these are going to come loose today. But we're going to get some vice grips on it and hope for the best. If I can't get them out, they're going to need to be drilled out and re-tapped. That's just going to be a massive job, and I really don't want to have to go there if we can avoid it. So fingers crossed the mighty vice grips work. I've enlisted the beast, the rustiest, biggest vice grip I could find. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Success, the turn. So good. So good. Oh, let's get these off. Alright, looking pretty good. Who would have thought 2 little bronze studs would honestly incite fear in the hearts of men? Just, yeah, remarkable. Anyway, so these babies are out. That's fantastic. I've just given the base, the flange bases a good hit with the wire brush and the drill. So they're looking pretty good. So all ready to install the gate valves again, which is great. So that will at least make the hull watertight. What I'm going to probably do is, because we're going to be welding this one shut, I'll probably take one of these bronze studs and put it in that one over there. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you want to keep up to date with live progress on the boat, just follow me on Instagram And if you dig what I'm doing here, it'd be great if you like the vid and maybe subscribe to the channel. And I'd love to hear all your comments and get some feedback. I've got a heap of content that I'll be putting up really soon, so I'll catch you again soon, guys. Cheers.